What's up guys, Cole here with Alliance, and today we are on a houseboat on Lake McClure checking out the 2024 Centurion Ri265. Now let's jump into a quick overview of the boat and go over some of the general specs. Now the length of this boat is 26.5 feet, followed by the beam, which is 102 inches, and also the draft, which is 36 inches. The fuel capacity of this boat is 92 gallons. Now the dry weight of the boat is 6,400 pounds. But if you were to throw it on the trailer, the overall weight is 8,000 pounds. Now when it comes to the seating capacity, this boat is yacht certified. So that means you can put as many people as you want in the boat and not have to worry about a thing. But obviously, think about comfort. You don't want too many people because then you got no room. So now we're in the front of the Ri265, and as you can see, this is a very spacious nose up here. And as well, we've got the Warrior package interior going on, and you can see we've got the really good looking stitching, which is the topography look, and we also have the gator step to accent that as well, giving it a very unique look that no one else has out there. And it's only exclusive with the Warrior package. Now something I noticed while sitting up here is that you definitely sit a bit deeper. I think that has to do with this being, a 26.5 foot boat. So it's got a bigger nose up here, which is really nice. Also, the seating arrangement's really comfortable. You've got two armrests that fold down super easily on a hinge. That makes it very comfortable ride. The cushions are nice and soft. Now underneath all these cushions, we have some storage, and also this middle cushion does come out. So if you want to make a little more room for walking in and out, that is a possibility. I personally like to leave the cushion in, just gives it much more room to relax. Now new for 2024, they've redesigned the windshield here. It's definitely a more straight, streamlined look, which I think gives it a nice aggressive look. But we also have these really cool breezy panels on the side here that let the airflow in as you're driving, so you're not roasting in the sun all day. You got a nice breeze that helps you stay nice and cool. Also on the driver's side, we've got this nice big Roswell mirror. It's very robust, very adjustable. You can get it set to however you want it. You can move it around if it's in the way. I think that's a nice mirror to add to this nice boat. So now we're up here in the captain's chair, in the Helm. This feels really nice, and of course that has to go with this nice captain's chair we're in. And this has bolsters on the side, locking you in so you don't feel like you're gonna fly out when you start driving a little crazy. But also, this has a Centurion Revo side-by-side touch vision screens, which is where you're gonna control pretty much everything that goes on in the boat. On the left screen here, we've got your vitals as far as your speed, your 0 off, you can set your speed there. You got your temperatures, your depth. We also have the trip, so you can also see how much fuel you've used, engine hours. But what's really cool is we can do both. And what I mean by that is you can have both the speed and the video playing at the same time. So you can see what your rider's doing behind you if you're not using the mirror, but you can also see what's in front of you if you're docking. So those are some really cool features on this left screen. Now on the right screen here, this is where you're going to control the majority of the things within the boat. On the home page though, we have our fuel gauge, we have our RPMs, we've got our temperature of the engine, we've got our engine hours, settings. We have quick surf and quick launch at the top. You're going to hit those whenever it's time to get up and ride. But right here on the right corner, we have our profile settings. And this is where you can choose surf left, surf right. You just hit one of those, activate it, and the boat sets everything up for you and you're ready to ride. Once we go away from the home tab, we're gonna go down and we're gonna go to the surf wave controls. And this is where you can pick how you want your tab set up. For us, with the stock weight, which is plenty in this boat, but we went with 0 as far as the stinger plate and the center tab. We felt like that gave it the best wave possible, but who knows, maybe you throw more weight in this boat, you can mess with that and really dial in the wave, which I think makes it really easy to do with all these controls. Once you're done setting up your wave, you're gonna go down to the ballast system, and this is where you control all the weight in the boat. You have a preview to where you can simply click, turn off and on, but you can go into control and really dial in exactly how you want to set it up. This boat has a total of 5,850 pounds of ballast, which is plenty for us today, but you can control all that right here. You got your front, your mids, and your back ballast, but the cool thing is the ram fill. And with the ram fill, you hit that on, you gotta go 10 to 14 miles an hour, and those fill up in 90 seconds, which is really sweet. This boat in the Warrior package does come with some unique options for ballast. We have additional 3 different ballasts in this boat that are pump enabled, so you can add those in and give your boat even more weight. All in all, the ballast system is very easy to control. We go down from that, we're gonna go into lighting. You can control all your lighting right here. It's very simply put. But what's really unique to the Warrior package is that RGBW lighting throughout the whole boat. So you go in here, hit RGBW, and you can control your interior, your underwater, your tower speakers, your interior speakers. You can choose whatever color you want for those. You can make them all the same. You can individually pick whatever color floats your boat, but those make the boat have your own unique look, especially when it's nice and dark out. You're definitely gonna be stunting on the lake, which I think is cool. The next tab we have is the music control. We can choose whatever source we want. We got it on Bluetooth, connect to your phone, super easy and simple. But to the right of this screen, you have the wet sound source unit, and this has the volume control right here. You obviously have it on the screen, but I think this is really easy. It's a nice knob. You know what's going up, what's going down. That's a real simple control right at your fingertips. Additionally, on this dash, we have a phone holder that charges your phone. So not only can you have this in front of you, you can also be charging it while you're out on the lake. Below that, we have our horn blower, nav, and anchor light going on the left, and then on the right, we've got our start, stop, and bilge, and our main power key switch. With the steering wheel here, right at your fingertips, you have the stinger plate and the cruise control right here. So up on the stinger plate is the top one, down is the bottom one, and same goes for the cruise control. So you don't have to be reaching for anything and look away. You can keep your hands on the wheel, go up or down, whatever you want, it's right there. Now over here we have the throttle, and it comes with a nice armrest right here. You can simply just be chilling, keep your arm on there. You're not getting fatigued or tired trying to hold up and work the throttle. It just makes your driving experience that much easier. Now we're done with the helm. We're gonna jump over here to the glove box because they've actually added in some really cool features. Inside the glove box, you now have your battery controls. So there's no more going underneath the seat and trying to reach for the controls and turning your batteries off and on. You can do that right here in the glove box. Next to that, you got your PDM controls, so if you need to switch one of those back on, you can do that super easily. You're not fishing for it underneath something. Over to the left here, we've got the wet sound source unit in here, so you can control all that stuff. You've got some charging ports in here, and you also have your aux cord port in there, and it's actually pretty deep, so you can fit some, a decent amount of stuff in there. Now we're checking out the floor here, which is covered in the gator step, and that stuff is really comfy underneath your feet. If you don't have gator step in your boat, you're definitely slacking. But actually underneath my feet, we've got a little storage unit going on. You can throw a cooler in there, you can store stuff. I mean, it's your boat. You get to choose what you want to do with it, but you've got that down below. It's nice and big. And then we also have all this seating. This is a 26.5-foot boat, so you can tell that there is plenty of room. And also, this thing is yacht certified. So with all this room, you can have as many people as you want, and you're not gonna get in trouble. But along with all these seats, you've got storage. I mean, that's pretty typical with these boats. You got storage underneath them. You can store whatever you want. We also have wet sound speakers throughout the whole inside of the boat here. They are super loud and pumping some good tunes. What's really unique that they didn't have last year is they've actually got charging pads here. So if you're out here on the boat all day and you got your friends need a charge, you're like, no, you're not using my cord, you're not using my charge pad, they have their own. So that's really cool. I haven't really seen that throughout a boat. I've seen it, in one spot. So that's really unique. This middle seat does move. You can move it all the way to the front. You can keep it in the back. That's kind of up to you, but that is cool how that modularly moves throughout the boat. Now over here behind the captain's chair, we do have a trash can, so you can throw some stuff in there. We also have a trash can up there, so you got plenty of stuff to stow your trash. Also, what's really cool is you've got this tube that comes out and you throw some hot air on you. So if you're in the wintertime, you're out there riding, this is coming off from the engine, you just kind of stay warm. So that's really nice. That just goes right back in there. You kind of just shove it in there like a slinky. Good to go. Now noticeably, the biggest upgrade for 2024 is going to be the tower. Now this was designed by Centurion and Roswell to come up with the Predator Power Tower, and this thing is looking mean and it's slap full of features. It's controlled by a little switch over there in the helm, the bottom. You're just gonna hold that button down, it's gonna come down nice and easy and articulate on the arms. You can go underneath bridges super easy, or if the sun's setting and you wanna cover yourself a little bit from the sun, it comes down real nice and gives it a really mean look. I definitely like the upgrade to the tower. Now the first thing I noticed though was the speaker system. This comes exclusively with the Warrior package. This is a special Warrior 2.0 enclosure, and it's got two 10 horn-loaded compression drivers by Wet Sounds, and it's also got 1.8 underneath for the mid-range. So you've got two of those. It's gonna have plenty of punch, so if you're out there riding, you're gonna hear it super clear. But you also have the RGB lighting within all that, within the speakers, underneath. You know, you can control that at the helm, like I said, and that gives it such a unique look. Up top here though, we do have some hooks. You can hang your wet stuff, you know, towels, life jackets, whatever it may be, those can hang and dry. You do have 2 racks on each side, but also with this tower, they have single racks on each side. So potentially you could hold 6 wakeboards on this tower. On the top though, we do still have the surf holders, so you can put 2 surfboards up top on the bimini. But it's also really simply thought, but I love it. There's a handle. You got a handle up here. And with that handle, when you're stepping in the boat, you're always looking for something to grab onto. Put a handle on it. And this thing's rated for a lot of weight, so don't worry about breaking it. You can grab this handle, step in the boat, you're gonna be okay. I think that's a genius thought. You can just tell that this tower was a well thought out design. Now we're done talking about that sweet tower. Let's talk about what's powering this Ri265. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna open these up to get to the engine. Once we lift that up, we can see that we have our PCM ZZ6 engine. This is a 6.2 liter, 465 foot-pounds of torque. This thing is the creme de la creme. This is going to power that 26.5 foot boat, so you're not underpowered. It's getting up on plane. It's doing everything you want and more out of an engine. So no complaints here in the engine compartment. Now as we continue with this engine compartment, we've got some trays in here. We put some buoys to hold, but you can put whatever you like in there. Wet stuff, it'll probably dry out a little quicker from the heat of the engine. You could potentially have a lot of storage in here, but we opted for the extra ballast bags, so those are gonna fill up that space when they fill up, but you can always put whatever in there when they're empty. So you got some storage options there, but that pretty much sums up this engine compartment. Now we're back at the transom of the boat, and right below here we have another storage option, and this is filled in with a fat sack, which is great. But you could also store surfboards in here. You've got a lot of length, so you could fit about 2 or 3 surfers in there when it's not filled, which is really nice. We also have the Transom remote here, so if you're out on the back, you're about to ride, you can click whatever song you want, turn up the volume, and get out there and ride. Now, underneath my feet is the platform. This platform is sitting up a little high off the water when there's no weight. When you weight it down, it's perfectly level, and I think that's really slick. So you're not over sinking the platform when you start weighting up the boat, when your board floats away, whatever. I just think they really thought that one through. There are some handles here, so when you need to get up on there, you can grab those and pull yourself up. It's covered in the gator step with the Centurion logo, making it look super sweet, but it's also very grippy underneath your feet. Yeah, just an overall good platform. Now let's jump over to the wakeboard wake. This is a 26.5-foot boat, so it's really big for a wakeboard boat. And I don't think that's its main purpose, but it does create a decent wake. I would say it's not its specialty, as it's a little finicky to get the wake perfect because it's so big. But once you kind of dial in the settings and figure out how to weight it correctly, you can definitely get a good wake out of this and get some tricks behind the boat. Now you can tell Centurion really focuses on their wake surf waves, and that's really apparent with all their boats, but definitely with this Ri265, you can just tell how easy it is to set up and have a great wave. So you're not spending time trying to figure it out. You can get out there and ride and have a good time. All right, guys, that wraps it up for our test drive today with the Ri265 by Centurion. If you guys like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any other future reviews. If you want any more info, head down to the description for all the links. We'll see you on the next one.